Well, 6 a.m. is the call time if you don't want to miss anything on the show.
That's true, that's true.
You know how 5 minutes to 6, you're still running around and trying to put everything in shape. Yeah, but it's nice. It's nice. We've got a bunch of people in the studio. I have Olamide in my ear. Emmanuel is taking photographs.
Okay, I feel like you're about to do a roll call.
No. Yeah, just...
Okay. But for you, as always, is going to be a 3-hour engagement where we bring you amazing conversations and, of course, good music.
Yeah, so let's get things started. A lot to go through. My name is Yomi Ope.
And I am Mary Bashua Alibi. Now remember, we are streaming live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Of course, on social media, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and on Facebook as well. Just use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC when you want to send in comments.
Yes, and you can also download our mobile app from any Android or iOS store. And that's for you to watch us on your mobile devices from anywhere in the world.
All right, so check it out. Lots of stuff happening on the show today.
Yeah.
For our first musical performance on the show, we have Super High B, ladies and gentlemen. It's still breastfeeding month, ladies and gentlemen, and TT Layamedouanye will be joining us. Rounding off that discussion, giving us tips on how to successfully breastfeed exclusively as a working mom. It's tough, because I've been through it before.
As a working mom. Also to give a performance is White Man. Now, he is a rapper, a singer, and a songwriter.
And to talk about gender-based empowerment, we'll be having a discussion with the CEO of JB Furniture, Joy Igbodike.
Moving on from that, a relationship will be focused on marriage and spirituality and why both should come together. And for that, we have certified relationship coach Vanessa Willie, who will be joining us to have that conversation.
Yeah. And last guest of the day is Nigerian indigenous rapper, singer, and songwriter, Ms. Kiz. She also has a musical performance for us today.
Music.
Yeah, so I was saying that
You were
yeah.
a breastfeeding mom.
Well, not actually, but I was part of the process to help it along.
Let's forget modernity or what society says or whatever. For you, how long do you think a child should be breastfed?
Are we going to have that argument today?
No, we are not arguing. I just want to know
Standard with my wife, it was always exclusive for 6 months. After that, it's you can mix and do whatever it is.
No, as in, I mean, for how long? When do you believe, plus the mix and match and exclusive everything?
I don't know, maybe
when
9
you
months.
It should end?
Maybe 9 months. But look, a woman has prerogative over her body, right? If from day one she doesn't want to breastfeed, you can't force her. Right, so let her do. I think the woman should be the one to make that decision regarding that. You can show her the benefits that this is how it's going to benefit you and the child. But if she then decides that she wants to go in another direction, then it's fine.
What about you? What do you think?
Well, actually, I'm open about this. I agree with Yomi. Like, it depends. If you want to breastfeed your baby, fine. If you don't want to, it's completely totally up to you. Because Elsie stopped breastfeeding at 8 months, and people like my dad, for example, and my mom actually thought I deliberately, stopped her from breastfeeding. But she just, I think it was just time for her to stop breastfeeding. I didn't make any efforts to stop her from breastfeeding, and I also did exclusive for 6 months.
Yeah.
I think
So
every child is unique. Every child is unique.
Yeah.
I personally, I stopped at 3 months because my mom used to work. So my mom said she came back from work one day and I just decided I didn't want it anymore. They tried to force me for days. They thought I would get back to it, but I didn't.
Especially if the child has started sampling other food. You just discover that they're just no longer interested. Because
I think mine was Baba.
Even at 5 months, my mom actually thought that my breast milk was not sufficient for Elsie anymore. So I actually had to start incorporating other food into her diet.
Okay.
So.
All right, I know we have Ibrahim on standby for the news. Hi, Ibrahim.
Hi, Mary. I think it's high time the husband stopped, competing with the newborn baby. Allow the baby to be breastfed for a long time. That's just my advice this morning anyway. The senior pastor of Commonwealth of Zion Assembly, Biodun Fatoyinbo, has been served the conditions of bail over the allegations of rape made against him by Busola Dakolo. The conditions include producing 2 sureties who must be above level 16 in the civil service. Pastor Fatoyinbo submitted himself for questioning at 4 CID headquarters in Abuja and underwent questioning on the allegations of rape and intimidation. TVC Celestina area was at the 4 CID earlier from where she filed this report.
I spoke to the PRO and the camera couldn't go in, but she took me to the office that is handling the investigation, which is the office of the DIJ. But I cited some of his aides, and I was told he came in with his lawyer. As at that time, he was putting down his statement.
In June 2019, Busola Dakolo, wife of a Nigerian popular singer Timi Dakolo, had in an interview with YTV giving account of how she was allegedly raped by Biodun Fatoyinbo in Ilori, Kwara State in 1999.
He was there about to do something I did not believe, and then when I was just about to react, it just covered my mouth.
This development had prompted concerned citizens in Abuja to besiege the street leading to the headquarters of the church on 30th of June to express their displeasure over the allegations. Pastor Biodun had taken to his Instagram to defend himself, saying he has never raped anybody in his life. He again took to his Instagram page to announce that he was taking a leave from the pulpit following the said allegations to allow for proper investigation by the church authority. The Christian Association of Nigeria EFCC chapter assured the congregation of the Commonwealth of Zion Assembly that they have its unwavering support.
I assure you that we are with you and we will continue to be with you. We are in support of the church.
The Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria also set up a panel to investigate the allegations against Mr. Fatoyinbo, but declared its investigation inconclusive as he never honored any invitation for questioning. On 4th of August 2019, Mr. Fatoyinbo returned to the pulpit after a month of stepping down. Pastor Biodun Fatoyinbo has threatened to take up legal actions against Busola Dakolo and any person who comes to make any unfounded allegations against him. Celestina Area, TVC News, Abuja.
And the 7th meeting of the Tokyo International Conference on African Development is set to open in Yokohama today amid an intensifying race between China and other countries to expand their presence in Africa's rapidly growing economies. More than 20 African leaders are participating in this edition of the conference. President Muhammad Buhari is already in Japan. The conference themed Africa and Yokohama Sharing Passion for the Future is expected to focus on Africa's economic transformation and improvement in business environment and institution through private investment and innovation. Over the past 10 years, China has emerged as a powerful political and economic player in Africa, already having surpassed Japan by far in terms of both government development assistance and private sector investments. And here in Lagos State, House of Assembly has set up a 9-man ad hoc committee to investigate the purchase of 820 buses by former Governor Akinwumi Ambode. Our correspondent Abimbola Bibi has the story.
These are the buses purchased by former Governor of Lagos, Akinwumi Ambode, earlier in the year. Most of the buses, now already in operation in different parts of the state, were bought to ease transportation within the Lagos metropolis. But they are now the subject of an allegation by lawmakers in the state.
We should call on the governor.
At plenary on Tuesday, it was said that the buses, numbering more than 800, were bought without the statutory approval of the legislature.
Something that is not approved by this House, to the tune of 45 billion naira, could be spent, contracts awarded, people picking up contracts from Lagos State when there's no budgetary provision for it. It makes a total mess of a budget.
Spending money, budgetary approval by executive could be seen as and executive financial recklessness. And there is even huge amount of money that is still need to be paid, need for thorough investigation so that it will really prevent reoccurrence of this type of thing. And at the same time, whoever that might have erred could be brought to book.
The manner the explanation was made without recourse to the House obviously shows that has negated the spirit of the 1999 Constitution as amended. And the model they use is very wrong. You can't be a regulator and be the end user as well.
We don't even know. We say 820 buses. Have any one of us here confirmed whether it's actually 880 buses?
The former governor was said to have purchased the buses at the rate of 45 billion naira, which was not budgeted for in the years 2017, 2018 and 2019 budgets. This, the lawmakers noted, had placed a huge financial burden on the state.
They're so expensive that even the initial model, which was for the operators to pay up the balance when they have been allocated the buses, became unattractive, and nobody is ready to pick up those buses. That is why we're calling, Mr. Speaker, that to set up a committee to look into the remote causes of this, and how Lagos State can get out of this logjam, and for a way to prevent such budgetary breaches.
Standing on Section 120, subsection 2 and 3 of Nigeria's Constitution as amended, and which state the powers and control of public funds, the House moved to commence investigations into the matter.
The state will continue to suffer if we fail to act fast to get those buses on the road.
In its resolve, a 9-man ad hoc committee was set up by the House to investigate all transactions in relation to the 820 buses procured by the administration of former Governor of Lagos, Akinwumi Ambode. Abimbola Agbebi, TVC News, Lagos.
And that's all on the news update for this hour. Weather update is next.
Looks like lots of stories in the papers today.
And I think we'll be starting off with the Daily Sun, yeah? Great. All right, so here on the cover of the Daily Sun this morning, we have federal government probes $9.6 billion damages awarded against Nigeria, goes after local foreign collaborators. And here on also we have insecurity. Enugu hires 1,700 forest guards, and IGP redeploys state's police commissioner, and that's on page 12 of the Daily Sun. And also here on we have Lagos Assembly to probe Ambode over purchase of 45 billion naira buses. Wow. And also here we have Abia never had 7.2 billion naira. I allegedly stole Carlo tells courts. And on the Koza report here, we have alleged rape. Koza pastor lands in trouble, quizzed, detained by police. And you can find that on page 4 and 5 of the Daily Sun.
Let's start with The Guardian here. This Wednesday, August 28th. Businesses, travelers suffer over tighter border watch. Restriction separates grooms, brides, perishable items rot away, rice price rises. Exercise not border closure, says Customs. Immigrants with valid documents move freely. And payback time for Nigeria as U.S. raises visa fee. And begins new raid tomorrow. Mixed feelings as Trump mulls ends to birthright citizenship. And some other stories here. Government probes 2.9 trillion naira gas deal fine by UK court. And 800,000 pass English maths as NECO releases SSC results. And 3 dead, 57 injured as truck rams into BRT in Lagos. Wow. And finally, sad. Promise, potential, and perdition of Almajiri schools in northern Nigeria, which is a special report in The Guardian this morning. And that's what we have on the cover of The Guardian.
All right, and on the cover of The Punch this morning, I'm going to start with this really very sad one, which happened yesterday, where 3 died, 69 injured as truck crushes BRT bus. And you can find that on pages 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. Really sad story there. All right, here on we are challenging UK courts $9.6 billion judgment in US, says federal government. And up here we have Lagos Assembly probes Ambode over 45 billion naira vehicle purchase. And Nigeria, a laughing stock in oil business, says minister. And down here we have why we hiked Nigerian applicants' visa fees, says the US. And policeman arrested for battering FUTA female students. And you can find that on page 5 of the Punch newspaper. And finally, we have rape. Police grill Fatoyibo for hours, granted bail. And that's it on the cover of the Punch newspaper this morning.
Let's check out The Nation this Wednesday. Nigeria launches battle against $9.6 billion UK verdict. Minister, it'll inflict grave economic injury on Nigerians. Federal government probes contract. And down here we have EFCC's joint effort with FBI yields $314,000. And Eni strikes major gas find in Nigeria. Up here we have House probes Ambode's purchase of 820 buses. And police quiz Koza pastor Fatoyinbo. And Nigerians to pay more for U.S. visa. Odubu is NDDC chairman designate. And NECO releases May-June exam results. Finally, Nigeria's Ekewa, now Africa's fastest. That's what we have on the cover of The Nation.
All right. And on the cover of the Vanguard newspaper this morning, we have failed gas projects suffering ahead if Nigeria pays $9 billion fine, says finance minister. And moving on here, NECO releases 2019 June-July SSC results. 71% pass English and maths. Good one there. And here we have Lagos Assembly probes Ambode over 45 billion naira buses. And I met Kanu, but not for money to topple Buhari, Showore tells courts. And you can find that on page 9 of the Vanguard. And rape allegation, police quiz release Koza pastor Fatoyinbo on bail. And here we have boat mishap, 7 bodies recovered, 108 rescued as man laments loss of wife and 3 children. Really sad story over there. Bandits kidnapped 48 in Katsina, burn 3 army vehicles. And that's it and more on the cover of the Vanguard newspaper.
Yeah, that looks like all that we can take on the newspaper headlines for this hour.
Yeah.
Of course, we're going to be back
for
with
more
after this.
Stay with us.
Thank you for staying tuned. It's time for the traffic update. That's Lagos traffic updates right here on Wake Up Nigeria. If this is your first time, please note that you can always be a part of this segment by sending a message on Instagram, on Facebook, or even on Twitter to let us know what your traffic situation is using the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. And you know, it wouldn't be a bad idea to take a traffic selfie and send it in as well. But that's if you're not behind the wheels, okay? Now, we're going to start this morning with Oronshoki to Obalende. All right, so I know that is a major traffic zone, especially for those who work on the island. Many folks take the Third Mainland Bridge area. So we'll take a look at what the situation is there. It's quite a sweet journey, so to speak. Not as good as yesterday, but definitely not much worse. It will take you less than 15 minutes, if you can believe it, to get to Obalende from Oronshoki this morning. As a matter of fact, almost all of the Third Mainland Bridge is free-flowing. I mean, of course, you just meet the usual pockets of traffic around the Oworo side. But as soon as you get on the bridge, you keep... in fact, this freeway is something else. You would experience it till you are around the Makoko axis. That is where you would actually experience the first traffic. And it starts like light traffic, then it becomes bumper to fender. Then it lightens up a bit, and then it's a freeway. Don't be deceived, because barely 5 minutes later, in fact, just about 3 minutes later, you'd encounter traffic again, just light traffic. And then just as you are approaching the Adekunle axis, you would experience bumper to fender traffic. And believe me, that bumper to fender traffic continues until you get off the bridge. So be prepared for that. And then it lightens up, and by the time you are at Dolphin Estate axis, that's the Osborne axis, you would experience free traffic. But that's also deceptive, because as you go past Igbo-Shere axis, the traffic builds up and then becomes a bit heavy. Now, of course, that depends on which axis you decide to use to connect to Obalende, okay? But whatever the case may be, please drive carefully. That is very important. Every morning, I cannot say that enough. Sometimes we could actually get to work earlier by simply being patient for other road users. Now, let's take a look at another axis. This time, we are looking at Ile-Epo bus stop to Oshodi. Yeah, that's Oshodi on that bridge. So if you're about to board that bus to Oshodi on that bridge this morning, don't have everything. You're good to go from Ile-Epo, because it will take you less than 40 minutes right now. Even I am shocked. As a matter of fact, when you leave Ile-Epo, it's free-flowing traffic, deceptively free, because you just run smack into traffic just before you get to Yanopaja, and it's instant bumper to fender traffic. That will continue until you pass the bridge even. So just as you go past the bridge is when the traffic eases up. Like, it's almost magical. You run smack into it, and all of a sudden it just becomes a freeway. Like, not just even the usual light traffic, then freeway. No, it becomes a freeway. Deceptive freeway, by the way, because as soon as you go past GIG, there's light traffic, but just very light. Perhaps vehicles picking up passengers in that axis. But not to worry. Right after that is free flowing until you get to Dokpemu. At Dokpemu, though, there's light traffic, but that's just about under the bridge area, okay? As soon as you pass the Dokpemu bridge, it's free-flowing, like, oh my gosh, you're going to enjoy your journey today. But when you get to Cement, the traffic starts to build up. Just past Cement, at around that St. Thomas Catholic Church area, the traffic begins to get really thick, to the point of bumper to fender. But not to worry, that will be for just a short while, because as you are approaching Olilekere Central Mosque, it begins to ease off until you get to the Apostolic Church area. That's the Igbore area. That's where the traffic becomes really free-flowing. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this. However, don't get too comfortable, because when you're getting to Ile-Zik axis, especially when you're approaching Ile-Zik axis, that's where you see that the traffic has begun to build up. But it's not so bad, because it eases out, it builds up, it eases out, which is shocking, because when you get to Ile-Zik as usual, it's usually bumper to fender, but it's not so bad this morning. That's why you're able to shave off some minutes from your travel. So from Ile-Zik area, it's light, then bumper to fender, then light again, then free, and then it becomes bumper to fender all the way till you get to the bridge. So through Ikeja along, through National, it's bumper to fender. As soon as you get to the bridge, though, it gets lighter, and then it's free-flowing till you get to the arena, as usual, at Oshodi. Okay? So from Oshodi, you experience the usual traffic, but then you'll be fine this morning. If you guys have any tweets for me, I'd like you to take it while I join you guys in the kitchen right now.
Well, just a few locations right now where we have a few updates, as usual. So I'm just going to take a few from the Lagos traffic report, and then we'll go into this U.S. visa matter. Okay, so right here we have Iyanopaja Inward Dokpemu under bridge is now busy. But as usual, there is last mile presence, so that's helping the traffic move along. And also, National Inward Bolade Oshodi is heavy. It's heavy, it's tight, but it's moving. And then finally, Ikeja under bridge is blocked. Yeah, because it's under the bridge. So probably try to look for an alternative route or go through Towing Street if you're trying to get to the other side. But that's about all that we can take on the traffic.
All right. So
you're talking about visa
training.
Yeah, so U.S. visa is trending, and the major story basically is that it's now 99,000 naira to apply for a U.S. visa, and the embassy's explanation, which they put on also on their Twitter handle, is that they are trying to match Nigeria's international visa rates as well.
Yeah, that there's been a few lamentations.
Yeah,
that to acquire a Nigerian visa is it's quite expensive, and they have had discussions with the federal government, in that regard. But there's been no, effects, based on the ongoings, in that regard. So they've decided, okay, you know what? You decide to increase your own, we'll increase our own.
Yeah.
Since, we are not reaching any common, grounds.
So I mean,
So it's 99,900, but you still get to pay, you don't get to pay the 40,000 naira additional, that's the additional fee if you're denied a visa.
So you pay it after you've been denied?
No, you pay after you
Are you sure about that? I thought they said, because what they call it is visa reciprocity fee, which is crazy.
Exactly. So if you're denied a visa, you don't pay the additional 40,000 naira.
Are you sure about that?
Based on the report I read in Punch, actually. Yes.
So we increased the price of, because it's a visa processing fee.
Okay.
So that's unconfirmed, but it's a visa processing fee. We increased the price of our visa processing fee to about probably $200 and something, which then brings it to about 100,000. So they then did, a visa reciprocity, a review of theirs and called it reciprocity fee.
So here's what I'm going to say. For every 100 Nigerians that apply for US visa, there are probably just one person, one foreigner to 100 Nigerians that apply for US visa. We're already complaining about how much the US make from Nigeria on visas alone, and they decided to increase the price. So I see it as this. This is probably just to further discourage Nigerians from taking up the visa, which is fine, because I believe more people need to do more research. There are actually so many other countries you can
go to. True.
If a country shuts its door, it's just like you're a visitor in someone's house. If they say, don't come to my house, stay in your house or look for other opportunities. I've always wondered what the craze is over the US. There
opportunities, baby girl.
There are opportunities everywhere. Have you ever wondered what the craze is for some foreigners to come to Nigeria?
Just like you said, that we as Nigerians, we need to do our research. We'll find out that, for example, countries like Estonia. I know it doesn't sound, Estonia. You feel like it's one of those countries that you would just go and be, you die lonely. But Estonia is, opening its doors to lots of opportunities for, people who want to come in.
Yeah, I just want to quickly read.
Finland.
Oh, Finland, yeah.
Finland. Do you understand?
Finland
so there are
amazing for too long.
Exactly, scholarship opportunities that a lot of people can, really leverage on, like, they can to enable themselves. Because I mean, that's only one of the reasons why many of us want to travel, anyways. To for
okay, so
life.
I just want to read. So this is from the U.S. Embassy and Consulate in Nigeria. So this is the release now, the press release.
Okay.
Effective worldwide on 29 August.
Which is on Thursday.
Yeah. That's tomorrow. Nigerian citizens will be required to pay a visa issuance fee or reciprocity fee for all approved applications, so you're correct. So the normal visa fee is 59,200.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when your application is approved,
then you
pay an additional 40,000 to make it 99,200.
So you know what I think? I think we need to bring someone from the U.S. Embassy to come and tell us about this. I'm being honest.
So
we need to actually bring someone from the U.S. Embassy
so
to
it's
come
a visa
and explain certain things to us.
So, but it's a huge increase. I mean, 59,200 to 99,200 is massive. It's almost double.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically.
See, there are opportunities in inland Nigeria.
Yeah.
I know you sit up. See, look, babe.
Which one is it?
Have you ever wondered? No, you guys chill. Have you ever wondered why so many foreigners come to Nigeria?
Let's move the show to Calabar.
There are so many.
Live from Calabar.
Give me a high five. In fact, you are too much.
Yeah,
there are so many opportunities in this country that don't take it
Calabar, really?
There's a lot of. That's why foreigners are coming in to come and take all our money, because we are not seeing these opportunities. And when they come, you'll be like, that's true. Why didn't I think of that?
The government should ban everybody. Everybody should go back to their states.
In fact, internationally.
Wake Up Nigeria brings you the very best of music. And Ibrahim Olawale is an artist, and he goes by the stage name Super High B, the bad guy. Now, he discovered his talent for rhymes, wordplay, metaphors at a very young age. He's going to perform one of his latest songs here on the show today. How you doing?
I'm fine.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah,
so, Super High B, how'd you get that name?
Yeah, the High B is from my name, Ibrahim.
Okay.
And the super is
it's
like a Superman.
Yeah, like a Superman. Okay, so you do a fusion of Afrobeat, Afro pop, a little bit of rap as well.
Yeah.
What are your greatest influences when it comes to music?
When it comes to music, I listen to a lot of old folk songs like King Sunny Ade and.
Okay, nice.
Yes.
So that means that's probably your popsy's influence when you're growing up and stuff like, and your mom as well.
Songs.
Okay, now different people represent different towns in Lagos. Yeah. What town do you represent? Where do you come from? Where's your clique?
I'm from Mile 2.
Mile 2. Yeah. Okay. That's the area that I'm more of it.
Grew up.
That you grew up in. Now, the song that you're performing for us today, talk to us about it.
The song is about a lady that you want.
And the way you're looking is as if you're remembering some things.
Yeah, it's a personal song.
Personal song.
Yeah.
So it's it's about you expressing yourself. And
to my woman.
Very nice. Very nice.
She traveled and I wanted to come back.
Oh, very nice. Anyway, so what's it called?
Gaziba FC.
Gaziba FC. Yeah. So it's like a street anthem that just carries people along and gets people to very enjoyable. Yeah. All right, so are you ready to do it?
I'm very ready.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Super High B right now.
All right.
Toro designer, Lagos. Toba wale day, I wanna go. Alaye jackpa, my look big boo. Ike wale escape me, jungle.
Thank you very much, X2, for that wonderful performance this morning. You made everyone big body in the studio this morning. All right. Great stuff happening here on the show, people. And of course, as usual, we are here to entertain you. Now, guess what, people? We have a new chef making her debut on the show. Her name is Chef Sandra. You're supposed to meet up my high tempo. Sorry. And this morning, guys, she is making chicken curry with veggies steamed rice. Yes, I know people, someone saying, we have come again. Yes, we have come again, people. And yes, this is Chef Sandra. Hello.
Hi.
You look lovely.
Thank you.
All right, so let's talk about the ingredients we're working with for our chicken curry. And then we move over to our veggies steamed rice.
Okay, so for the chicken curry, we're going to be using carrots.
I know we don't have all the ingredients displayed here. Yeah, but we are definitely going to, show all of the ingredients later on because, Chef Sandra just joined me in the kitchen and, we are still trying to set up to make sure we have everything ready for you. So, give us an idea of what, because veggies steamed rice. We could have just got I'm trying to figure out what we are going to do with the rice and, how do we steam it? I mean, give me an idea.
Okay, so we're going to stir fry the rice.
Okay.
And we're going to let it steam to cook.
Steam to cook.
So instead of adding a lot of water, we rely on steam to cook the rice.
Okay.
So once the rice is done, we'll stir fry it with the vegetables.
Oh, really? It's actually very easy to make.
It is.
Yeah. And then you have chicken curry. Okay, so let's get out all of the ingredients and, you know, plate them so that some of our viewers can see what we're working with this morning. So let's get out all of the ingredients that we're working with. Yeah. So, of course, we have our chicken, which is our main ingredients, which we're going to whip up in a bit. Oh, yeah, we're working with bay leaves as well. Okay, so let's just take this behind while we, you know, get that ready. And yeah, I get to talk about the ingredients that we have here on the table displayed. All right, so we're gonna, veggies, of course, you imagine that we're not talking ugu or scent leaf, no people. We are gonna be making use of carrots, green pepper, spring onions. We have our green peas here, we have onions, and then guess what, people, what's here? We have, this is grated ginger, yes?
Yes.
Grated ginger. Look at all that juice from that ginger. You're going to get all of its nutritional benefits in its fullness, people. All right, and of course, we're going to be working with bay leaves as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I saw like a bit of bay leaves. And guess what? Bay leaves actually has a lot of amazing nutritional benefits that we're going to be telling you on later on. And what kind of rice are you working with?
Basmati rice.
Basmati rice. I just figured, because when you said steamed. All right. Ah, look at that chicken. Let's talk about this chicken because it looks marinated.
Yes.
Okay, so what did you do?
It's marinated with chicken seasoning, curry, thyme, rosemary, paprika, white pepper, and black
look
pepper.
at that. Look at that. Look at that. This chicken in all its richness. Paprika, yes?
Yes, black pepper.
Black pepper.
White pepper.
Ooh, okay.
Chicken seasoning, salt, ginger, garlic.
Wow, that's a lot. And it's not ready yet. You just marinated and then like left it overnight.
Yes.
Yeah. So what are we going to do with the chicken later on?
We're going to sear it.
Like pan-sear it?
Yes.
Okay.
Then
with vegetable oil or butter or?
Vegetable oil.
Okay. And then?
Then we're going to set it aside, make our sauce. Then it's going to cook in the sauce.
In the curry sauce.
Yeah.
So people, so go ahead and continue. If you do not know how to make curry sauce, we are here for you. Not every time stew. Sometimes spice up your kitchen, you know, spice up your kitchen with something, you know, beautiful, something different, something delicious, you know. All right. Okay, so much more going on here on the show, Wake Up Nigeria, people. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
We are happy, and that's because another beautiful day has started for us.
And of course, Wake Up Nigeria is one very good way to go in the mornings. It's 1 hour passed already.
Yeah.
Like, these days go by so quickly.
I guess we're getting used to the new routine.
Anyway, if you're just tuned in, you are welcome.
Yes, top of the morning to you again.
My name is Yomi Ope.
And I am Mary Bashwa Alimi. Now we're streaming live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Of course, you can send in your comments across our social media platforms. That's Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Yes, and just so you know, we have an app. It's available for download at both Android and iOS stores. Now, this app allows you to watch us from anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Anyway, we started our day early today, and already stuff is going on in the kitchen.
Yeah.
The new chef, Sandra, all smiles, hard at work right now with MM.
Yes, he is, as you can see. It's
rice
quite a
and
spread
curry
we have.
chicken.
Yes, it's quite a spread we have here. So she's trying to make sure everything is set and ready to go once it's
like a lot
time.
going on.
Yes.
Yomi is happy.
Oh, yeah.
Local man is happy.
No fish.
Curry chicken is my thing.
Yes, because there's no fish, no seafood at all.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
So very
Yomi's
good,
smile is on it. Is another level.
Now, it's still breastfeeding month, and Titi Lyle Medoye will be joining us to give us tips on how to successfully breastfeed exclusively, especially for working moms.
Now, also joining us for a musical performance is White Man. He is a rapper, a singer, and a songwriter.
Now, from that, we move on to a discussion on empowerment with Joy Igbodike, who is the CEO of JB Furniture. She will be talking about the Girl Skill Up program. Very interesting. I want to see that, hear that conversation.
Women empowerment interests me. Now, on relationship, Vanessa Willie will be talking about marriage and spirituality and what the two have to do with each other. Is Yomi taking that?
Yeah, and for a performance and a chat, we'll be having indigenous rapper Ms. Kiz.
Did you hear that part? Rihanna will be your side chick. I can just see Don Jazzy and Rugged Man jumping and hitting the rooftops.
Why do they actually think that?
I don't know why they are so crazy about Rihanna. Two of them. If you mention Rihanna,
Responded to him.
and
Anyway,
they no, never
he's always
to
tagging
both
her.
of them.
I had one gist yesterday.
What's the gist?
Very funny gist like this. So, husband and wife have been to Yahoo Yahoo.
Oh, that one.
Then, wifey has been the one, talking to the Australian guy in her whatever accent.
You need to
that
listen
she's
to
been,
this. So.
Eventually, Australian guy got hooked.
Pilot
into Nigeria to see Babe. Babe took her husband to see Australian guy
and his friend
and the husband's friend, and introduced them as her brothers. Australian boy, in his mind, he has seen potential wife. Anyway, the summary of the whole gist is wifey now is in Australia with the Australian man.
Abandoned her 2 children with the
she
husband.
fell in love with the Australian guy.
Oh,
guy had.
I didn't see that coming. Yomi actually did.
She was smitten.
She got smitten. She left her kids. Funny enough, husband had no idea
until she left. She said she was going to buy goods in Lagos.
She said she was going to buy goods in Lagos. That's her.
Because they are not based in Lagos.
Went to Australia. She's with
Australian pilot.
Australian pilot.
Nice one. Yeah, so it wasn't a scam then.
No, scammer.
Scammer. How do you even? I mean, like
scammer has been scammed.
The scammer is scam.
Okay, I'm trying hard not to laugh. It's wicked to laugh, but
why?
I mean, no, but it's not a scam.
It's a love thing.
It's
so what if Australian guy actually finds out eventually that?
No, I expect her to tell him.
It was as a result of a scam.
Yeah, but I expect her to tell him.
Their love story started. That's if there is a love story.
Yeah.
Because Babe might just be seeing opportunity to, upgrade.
And you know something? It reminds me of a particular movie I watched. It's also like a Yoruba movie, something similar. He was trying to scam his friend, who is rich. The friend just came back from the abroad, as they say. And so the guy comes and then he's like asking his wife to get close with the guy and everything so they can make money because the guy came home to look for a wife. That's how Madame fell in love with the guy. Told the guy the truth. Both of them.
Because that happens
with their
a lot.
lives.
You know, if the Australian guy had come and she discovered his sincerity and his genuineness and all of that.
Anyway, I think
it's hard to pass on.
Conversation later, yeah. Thank you very much, DK. Always interesting. It's always a pleasure to have you. Take us to our daily fitness routine. Yes, with me in the kitchen this morning is Chef Sandra of Cinnamon and Cloves, people. Yes, so this morning we are making chicken curry and veggies steamed rice. Not veggies vegetable. We're not making use of ugu or century or that sort. We are making use of, so let's talk about the ingredients we're working with this morning.
Okay. So for the steamed rice, I'm going to be working with carrots, spring onions, green peas.
Okay.
So I'm going to, the water for the rice is already boiling. So I'm going to move this pot here and stir fry the rice before adding the hot water.
Okay. And we're making use of basmati rice. But what if we're not using basmati rice?
You can do that with your usual long grain rice as well.
Okay. After you've parboiled it, right?
No, you don't need to parboil it.
Oh, you don't have to parboil it. Okay, great. And then for our chicken curry, what are the ingredients we're working with?
Okay, so the main ingredients is the chicken, of course. So we're searing the chicken now. I put in some butter and oil, then onions and garlic.
Okay.
Onions, garlic, and ginger. So I'm about to take out the chicken.
And it smells really good, people. I ain't washing you. It smells really, really, really good. I mean, she actually marinated it overnight, with paprika. You want to remind us again what you used in marinating it?
Paprika, white pepper, black pepper.
Okay.
Ginger, garlic, chicken seasoning, and salt.
Chicken seasoning and salt. Oh, okay. And then she left that overnight, to get all of those seasonings in. And right here we're just pan-searing or just frying, basically. All right. Look at that. It looks really good. Okay, so what's next?
Okay,
now that
so
we've taken our chicken off.
I'm going to add in bay leaf, curry.
To our fried oil, to the oil already, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is curry.
Okay.
A little bit of turmeric, just to give it color.
All right. Okay. And then we're just going to put in our bay leaves.
Yes.
Right. So much happening here on the show, people. But we are going to be back to show you all of this process because it's important that, you pay attention as much as we want you to pay attention. All right, we have to go on a quick break now. Stay with us. There's so much more coming up.
Well, it's time for us to talk nutrition now. And of course, as usual, for this month, I have Titilayo Medunye. Great to have you on the show today. Thank you so much. Now, Titi is a certified breastfeeding specialist and the founder and CEO of Milky Express. For the last of the series on breastfeeding, we are focusing on tips on how working moms, can successfully breastfeed their babies exclusively.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the way we're going to wrap up this month of breastfeeding.
Yes.
So tell us what we need to know about this.
Okay, so as a working mom, I myself, I used to be in 9 to 5 when I had my baby, and I understand that it's very difficult to be able to continue to give your baby breast milk while, you're working. But one of the first and the most important things is to be able to have good child care services. So either you have a nanny that is coming to the house or a nanny that is staying over, or you have a good creche where you're taking your baby. However, whichever option you choose, it should be somebody that is reliable and someone that you're confident in to be able to leave your baby with them. And then another thing to look out for is how you want to express your milk.
Okay.
So we have breast pumps, and you can also do this by hand. So we have here an electric breast pump. We also have a manual breast pump, and then you can also use hand expression. So with all of these three methods, you're able to express breast milk, and then you can store it. Most people don't know that breast milk can be stored in a deep freezer for up to 6 months.
Yes.
So you can store breast milk in the deep freezer, you can store breast milk in the fridge, and you can actually leave it on the countertop for like 4 hours. So when breast milk is stored in the freezer and you bring it out and it thaws, right? You shouldn't freeze it again. Exactly. Don't freeze it again. The baby has to eat that day, right? And we always advise that when you want to offer your baby, when you're heating up the milk, don't put it on the stove or put it on don't put it in the microwave, because you're never able to gauge the temperature. What you can easily do is get some hot water, put it in a bowl, and then sit the bottle of milk in that water. Okay. So let's not put it in the microwave. Let's not put it up on the stove. Let's not do any of that. And it's also important that you teach your child care minders how to properly wash the bottles. because it's very important. A lot of times the bacteria could hide like in the nipple teeth of the bottle, and we're not washing it properly. So they have to know how to properly wash the bottle. They have to know how to properly sterilize the bottle to avoid infections. Exactly. So with all of that, you know, also making sure that in your workplace they know that you're a breastfeeding mom, so that you have time, you have your break time where you can express milk and then store it. A lot of offices these days have fridges. So, you know, have a bag where you can put all of your pump things, and then have another little bag where you can label and say breast milk and put it in the fridge so that nobody goes there and drinks the yogurt in the fridge. Yes.
It has happened to someone.
I know, it's happened so many times.
It
does.
It does. It's so tasty.
It does.
Yeah,
so you have to label it, then put it in the fridge so people know that it's breast milk. So I mean, with all of this, it's now easier for moms to be able to work and still offer their children or their babies
buying breast milk off the internet? You know, there are some people that actually make a business of it. Expressing breast milk, storing it, and selling it to moms who probably can't breastfeed or would rather just have breast milk come from elsewhere. Would you recommend buying such?
So there are people who sell it personally. I don't recommend that because it's not tested. So we have milk banks, and there's a process for testing the milk when it goes through the milk bank. So it's always better to go through the milk banks. However, the milk banks don't sell breast milk. They would offer breast milk based on the children who need it the most. Children who are maybe in the incubator, or children who don't have their mothers around to be able to breastfeed.
Okay, so it's not recommended to buy, because I know some people actually make businesses of this online, selling breast milk. Okay, so let's talk about expressing the milk. Some people don't know how to do that, like properly express. And so you find some other struggles. Some say, oh, the process of expressing is very painful, and you realize that it's because they're probably not placing it well. Could you explain that better?
Okay, sure. I'll show you here. So when you're expressing, you have to make sure that the nipple actually goes into this hole, right? It should be like this.
Okay. Could you turn that to the camera?
Okay. So it should be like this. You want to make sure that the nipple is exactly in the middle, so that when there's suction, the nipple moves freely.
Like a baby's mouth.
Exactly, into the hole. So, but when we don't place it properly, when there's suction, the nipple is going to be rubbing against the edges, and then things like that could cause the nipple bruises that people complain of. Another thing is that you can actually lubricate this.
Leak.
Yes, it can leak and come out. Yes, you can just put some oil, olive oil, coconut oil, just right here for smooth, back and forth movement.
Okay.
And another thing is that the suction power. So a lot of times, we apply too much suction, more than the breast can handle, more than the nipples can handle. And then in cases like that, you find that the mothers begin to have nipple trauma and injuries and stuff like that. So it's different for everybody. But what I always advise is that when you pump, pick the one that is most comfortable for you. Pumping should not hurt. So if it's hurting, we're not doing something right. So pick the suction power that is most comfortable for your breast. And as a matter of fact, both breasts can have different suction power, that they can work with. So pick the one that is most comfortable for you and work with it.
Okay. So how can you determine your suction power? Because especially for a new mom who is just learning all of these things, and then you tell the mom, know your suction power, and she's looking at you like, are you serious?
Yes, what that simply means is know the level that is comfortable for you. So most electric pumps have different gauges of suction power, from the lowest to the highest. So try it out, start from 1, move to 2, move to 3, until you get which one is comfortable for you. If you move to the highest and you feel that it hurts, then go back.
Okay.
Take it down,
That's for electric pumps. So how then do you determine that using the manual pump?
So using the manual pump, usually it can go as far back. It also has the various suction power in terms of how far back it goes, because you're the one applying the pressure. Right? So you don't want to squeeze too much. If you realize that when you squeeze too much, it hurts a lot, don't squeeze too much. Just squeeze halfway, and squeeze up until the point that is comfortable for you.
Okay, so you determine what point is comfortable for you.
Exactly.
Okay, that's for expressing. Now I see this bag. What is it about?
So this is a pump bag.
Okay.
This is a pump bag, and this is an electric pump. Yes. So, you need the bag because you will have everything inside. So your bottles, your cooling bag, everything would be inside here. So it's easier for you to move all these parts around. You're not trying to carry, bottles in this hand, pump in that hand. It makes it easier to, keep everything in place and move around.
Okay. So when I get this bag and I want to put a cooling bag into it, how can I get a cooling bag? Is this something I can make manually?
You can buy that. A lot of they sell it in the market these days. It's just a small cooling bag. Some people even use coolers, so you can actually use a regular cooler, a small cooler with ice in it, exactly, and then just put your milk to sit in it.
Because it's always good to have options. There are some people that probably might not be able to afford what is necessary in that regard. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been a fantastic month talking breastfeeding, and Titi has been such a good sport on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a break now, and of course, the show continues. Stay with us as Wake Up Night.
Welcome back. You're still on to Wake Up Nigeria. I hope you've not had enough of what we are about to give you on the show, because there's still so much more. You're about to witness our second performance for today, and Omotore Adebayo, aka White Man, is a talented artist currently making waves as an albino artist in Africa. The singer-songwriter started professional music in 2014, where he emerged the best rapper in the Star Mega Jam competition. He has released 2 singles under MMMG Entertainment and is currently working on another with Killer Tune. Hello, White Man. I am feeling you this morning. I am feeling you. So you're about to perform to the song New Story. Tell me, what's that about?
Well, it's a motivational song that makes meaning to the ear. It's an inspired song to put a smile on people's faces and let them understand that we need to struggle. While struggling, definitely things are going to get better.
Is there a story behind the song?
Yeah. We started from scratch. We started from
the bottom now.
Yeah, started from the bottom, from grass to grace.
All right.
So, it's the time hustling, writing songs in the studio, begging for shows and other DJs. But when the time comes and you got signed to a new record label, so definitely doesn't.
You have arrived.
Yeah.
All right. So what's next for you in the industry? I mean, you're like, after winning the Star Mega Jam, I'm sure that was like a huge deal for you.
Yeah. That's actually like life-changing for me.
So what do you do with the money? Want to tell us? Don't mind me.
Support my career.
Support your career. So what's next for you?
Man, it's to the next level, man.
Any future collaborations you want to have with A-list artists?
Of course, there's a lot, but I'm not going to reveal it now,
Yeah, keeping it,
surprise,
you want to surprise us. All right, so I'm just going to let you surprise us, a lot further with New Story. Take it away.
Wake Up Nigeria brings you the best talent, ladies and gentlemen. We always make it happen right here on the show. Now, the Girl Skill Up program is a gender-targeted skill training designed to meaningfully engage young women between the ages of 18 to 29 with technical capacities so that they can have space in growing the furniture industry in Nigeria. And Joy Igbodike, who I have here with me, is the CEO of JB Furniture. And she's going to be telling us more about the Girl Skill Up program. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you too.
What you're doing is quite remarkable.
Thank you.
You plan to train 100 girls. Give us the background of this project.
Well, because I'm a female in the furniture industry too, and I've been here for a while. I started when I was 14. So
wow. That's a long time.
That's a long time. So I got the skill early. And so I decided on the Girl Skill Up program to bring other women, young women, to be able to come and fill the huge gap that is existing in the furniture market. It's quite unfortunate that most furniture manufacturing companies are always looking for skilled workers. And we realized that our girls are working and learning the skills in saturated markets when there is a huge gap to earn immediate income in another industry that people don't know. So that's what made me start the Girl Skill Up program and with my friends to see how we can solve these two problems, bringing these girls into an industry that is actually looking for skilled workers.
Well, I like that concept, the fact that it's a budding industry. it's opening up, looking for skilled workers, yet a lot of our girls are probably learning how to make clothes or do hair and things like that. So how are you trying to reach out to these girls? So people are registering for the program already now for this year. So talk to us about that process.
Okay, what we did, we have an online portal from JB Furniture School /Girls Skill Up, where people register. We've spoken to churches where we can actually get the indigent girl, because I mean, it's a free program, they're not paying. And so we reach out to communities too, where we know that girls are there, because we really want to help the people that really need it. You know, we've gone to agencies where people are looking for jobs to tell the girls that, hey, even if you don't have a job as a graduate, come learn a skill that you can at least earn an income from immediately, and that's the beauty of.
I like this concept of immediate income that you're talking about. So how so the learning process itself? I know for some they'll say, learn something in 6 weeks or learn something in 3 months or whatever it is. So tell us about the process of learning how to make furniture and upholstery.
Okay, so we have like a model, like a 3-phase model, where they come in, they learn, and they're trained for 9 months.
9 months.
9 months. Then after the 9 months training, they go into internship. Now we have a list of manufacturers waiting to absorb them.
Wow.
So they go into internship immediately after the 9 months, and then they start to earn, because they get an allowance paid while they're also learning how to fit into the industry. And so we hope that by the time they're done with their 3 months, if their performance is very good, and based on the kind of education that we're going to give them, they will be retained. If they don't want to be retained, they can actually start up their own immediately, because upholstery is the easiest to start up in the furniture space, and it's the one that doesn't require muscle, and that is why we're bringing ladies into it.
When you said muscle just now, because that was my next question, I was going to ask that, okay, once you say furniture making and upholstery, it just sounds like, okay, they want me to come and become a carpenter. Is that what it is?
Actually, all over the world, females are the best upholsterers. It's sewing. I mean, this upholstery, just cover sofa. You know, so it's not muscle.
So it's not the heavy lifting.
It's not the heavy, really. And even the heavy has changed, because now we have power tools, we have machinery. Furniture making is not as hard as people perceive it to be.
Yeah,
so
because
a lot of women are coming into it.
Because back in the days when we were growing up, when you say furniture making or when you talk about anything to do with wood, it's usually a lot of hard work and you chiseling and all of that. So you're saying that it has changed, it's a bit different. That is just the myth that people have. Right now we have tools, machineries that would do the job in no time, faster, with less manual labor. Okay, so this is a program for 100 girls between the ages of 18 and 29, and it's launching tomorrow, you said?
Yes. We're launching it tomorrow at Necker House, Necker Auditorium, Necker House, Akin Balogun. And because actually registration has closed, because we have over 200 girls already that have registered for the training.
And you're looking for just 100?
Yeah, but we're training 100. It depends on how we get help. I mean, we can't do it alone. We have a lot of sponsors now. We have people coming to support us. So, but we're still hoping for tomorrow. So anybody that's interested in being trained by us can come to the venue tomorrow. It starts at 9, and they can pick up their form and register at the venue.
So this is girls empowerment. So how about the young boys? You know, the boys that, teenage boys that are out there and they're saying to themselves that, oh, I'd like to learn this. How can I then, is there something for the boys?
Yes, we actually have a furniture school that takes care of everybody, irrespective of gender, but because we're trying to bring females into an industry or into an area of the industry that's actually feminine.
Yeah.
So that's why the Girls Skill Up. But we have the same training available for boys,
for everyone,
but they will pay.
Okay, so the guys will pay because it's a school.
Yes.
But this one is empowerment specifically.
Yes,
that's
for
why
girls.
It's free.
That's why it's free.
That's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
And hopefully the girls can get absorbed and then the industry can begin to change. And furniture can be cheaper, because many people say that Nigerian furniture is expensive.
When we have more people making furniture, then imports reduces, and then we'll have more for us, and a lot of people will be making affordable furniture in Nigeria, and that's the whole idea.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us on the show, and all the best with the Girls Skill Up program.
Much.
Girl power.
Thank you.
We're going to be back after this break. Oh no, we're heading to the kitchen now, I think, where MM is on standby. Hey guys.
All right, thank you very much, Yomi. Interesting conversation there. So yes, from furniture to cooking, I know that's our staple when it comes to women. But hey, before we go on about what's happening here in the kitchen, please stay with us. This is the final hour of the show, about to begin in a bit. Stay with us.
It's the third hour of Wake Up Nigeria this Wednesday morning. Glad to know that you're tuned in and you're watching us right now.
Yes. The way to go is to wake up and tune in to TVC. That's all we require of you every morning.
And of course, right at this moment, the show is still on. My name is Yomi Owope.
And I am Mary Bashwa Alimi. You know, of course, you can watch us live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Yeah. Send in your comments across our social media platforms, obviously. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Now, please remember, the TVC app is available for download at both Android and iOS stores. Now, this app allows you to watch us from anywhere, absolutely anywhere in the world.
And for a second musical performance today, or third musical performance, we've had two already.
Yes.
White Man is going to be coming back with the song Showers of Blessing.
Oh, wow. On relationship, Vanessa Willie will be talking about marriage and spirituality and what the one has to do with the other. Okay.
Marriage and spirituality. Do you have any World Day for us?
Yes, so we have World Days. But before that, something got me. I stepped out briefly from the studio, and someone met me. I was like, wow, you're Mary Bashwa Alimi. I said, yes, ma. But you know, there's somebody that sounds so much like you on radio, but that person's name is Mary Alimi. I said, really? I'd like to meet that person.
It doesn't sound so much like you.
There was someone behind me that went,
oh, it's the same person. Okay, so radio,
I always feel
radio
shy.
/ TV.
Yeah, when people like
station.
link
Have
me
you ever
up
thought
with
about being
stuff?
on radio?
No.
Never?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Why?
Never.
Radio is actually fun. I prefer radio
It
because
is. I've been invited for radio
express
interviews,
yourself.
but being a radio presenter, never thought about it.
Do you feel like you have like a different personality when you're behind?
I think Mary has a different personality when she's on radio.
Yeah, on radio I can actually be myself, like you know, say things I believe.
Because people aren't watching you.
Because
so you
people aren't watching me, and then because I love doing research, so on radio I get to actually
take your time
share
to do
a lot
that,
of
yeah.
things that I've come across, things that I know of. If you've never listened to me, please do so today, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
I actually prefer your personality on radio.
102.3 Max FM. You prefer my personality on radio,
So
see?
essentially, I'm saying she doesn't like you on the show.
I didn't say that I don't like her on the show. I only said I prefer.
Let me take some time to process that.
I prefer. So I'm making a choice, and I think I would rather go for you on the radio than on TV.
Well, you tell me tomorrow. You can tweet at me later today. 102.3 Max FM.
Yeah, so which Mary do you like? Do you like Mary Bashwa Alimi or Mary Alimi?
I like Mary
Let
Bashwa.
the viewers...
I'm still Mary Bashwa Alimi on radio. But
Yeah,
because
she is actually.
when you're talking, you're like, okay, this is Max Hate with Mary. Then you go Mary Bashwa Alimi and they put full stop at the end. You said everything.
Yeah, well done.
Calm down now. I'll tell you. So today is Radio Commercials Day. Can you imagine? I didn't look at it earlier.
Yeah.
Today is Cherry Turnover Day. That's a snack, crackers over the keyboard. Rainbow Bridge Remembrance Day.
Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah. Today is, okay, you know boredom now. Raise your mouse around the icons day. You must really bored to do that.
Yeah.
Today is bow tie day. Shocking that you didn't have one.
Yeah, somebody should have told me.
Not a Monday.
Somebody should have given me a
That's
memo.
your staple on a Monday. When you see with the bow tie. Because that pastor style.
But which one do you prefer, the bow tie or the regular one? Or the cravat? Which one is your favorite?
No, just a regular tie.
The regular
because
tie.
they have more varieties. Yeah. So it's easier to choose. But once you've done one bow tie, two bow ties, it then looks a bit like a...
I've always believed bow ties are more formal. Cravats are for maybe not so formal events, like somewhere between formal
like semi-formal
and
events.
But for the normal ties, like you can rock them anywhere.
But yeah, so normal ties, I mean, you can have 100 ties. But if you start having 100
since
bow
we have,
ties,
at least I think about 2 minutes, there's one gist I want to quickly drop.
Yeah.
Since there's no World Day, that is quite entertaining. Anyways, so I really actually want to know your opinion because a lot of girls are beginning to be, we're in that era where a lot of women are becoming self-aware, and that also transcends into our relationships.
Yes,
so where you meet somebody and you already know if you want to be with this person or not. So you're not waiting for girl meets guy who is a baba.
Okay.
And,
that one.
Yeah, and
why do we keep
know,
seeing this? Yeah,
right? Yeah, because I mean this is on social media. So
True.
guy likes girl and he really wants something serious, but girl had to like tell him that, Baba, I'm not here for play. Like, I'm not here to be managing your small coins with you.
Yeah.
So it's better we do not even go into the, because I mean, you're still a Baba, you've not even started life. Do you understand? So, what would you advise? Would you think she could have just, been patient? Because you just never know what a guy's future holds, In the nearest future, he could just hit or hammer or something.
A lot of times there are women who... so it's not necessarily where the guy is now, it's about the potential.
Yeah, right.
So if she's not seeing potential, if all she's, maybe from her discussions with him, is that he's not seeing his life bigger than that little shop he's in, then she probably won't be able to go there. But if if she sees that he has potential and that he's thinking big, she'll probably want to go along with it.
It is not about potential. Some guys are thinking big. He's going to be successful in future, but does he have you in the picture? Look, if you're going to be with somebody, accept that it's my workout or it might not work out. It's a risk to take. Relationships these days are risk because you guys are not married.
And financial security is also very paramount.
Forget financial security. The guy might be financial security. And the
financial security is important.
When you are abandoned with 2 children, you will know.
With you, I'm good forever. Yeah, I'm your far away. No more hide and seek. No, I'm your, yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, White Man, for that wonderful performance. Man, I was digging that energy. Thank you so much. We definitely needed that. All right, with me in the kitchen this morning is Chef Sandra. And guess what, people? We are making chicken curry with veggies steamed rice. That's vegetable steamed rice, veggie steamed rice. All right, so let's get to it. We've started, working out in bits and pieces, but it's important for us to, show you the process for what we are making this morning. So let's get to it. So we have our rice, which has been steamed. Yeah. So you want to talk us through how we steamed our rice quickly?
Okay, so in a pan, you add your oil and your butter.
Yeah.
Then you add the rice, you stir fry the rice, so that it doesn't get soggy.
Okay.
Then you add already boiled hot water into the rice.
Okay.
Then you keep checking till it's soft. So you don't want to add too much water at once.
Okay, great. And then for our chicken curry sauce, we already have our chicken which has been marinated, and with paprika, garlic, ginger, seasoning cubes. Yeah.
Yes.
Great. Okay, and then you pan-seared it a little.
Yes.
Great, and it's quite soft. So, what are we doing over there?
Okay, so here we have the oil.
Yeah.
So when the oil is hot, you add your ginger, garlic, onions.
Okay.
Then carrots. You add carrots first because it takes longer to cook.
Okay.
So after that, I'm going to add the remaining veggies. The green peas. And the spring onions.
Yes, and this is for our veggies steamed rice. Pay attention, people. Like I said, veggies. So our vegetables that we're working with for our rice this morning, we have our spring onions, we have carrots, we have our green peas, and I'm guessing our red and green bell peppers are also going in there.
No, they're going into the curry sauce.
Okay, great.
So I'm just going to add a bit of
salt. Okay. And all. So when that is ready, we throw in our rice, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Very easy. Easy, quick recipe. All right. So while we move that, to cook a little, let's quickly move on to our chicken curry.
Okay. So here we already have the oil from the chicken. We have bay leaves. We have turmeric. We have curry. We have ginger and garlic. So I'm going to add in coconut milk.
Oh, nice. So coconut milk in your chicken curry is what? That flavor that coconut milk adds to your chicken curry sauce is amazing, people. Like, it is, I don't know how to explain it to you. You have to experience it yourself, trust me. Okay, so I'm gonna let that cook for a little while. Are we gonna allow that cook for a little while?
Yes, once it starts boiling, we'll add in water, we'll add in the chicken, then we taste. So from that, we'll know how much seasoning to add.
Okay, great. So just going to allow that cook a little.
Yes, so
and
now I'm
then
going to add the
our
rice.
vegetables. Okay, great. So you need me to bring it over?
Yes, please.
All right, great. Okay, so our steamed rice this morning, we are working with basmati rice this morning, which has already been steamed with vegetable oil and butter. Great. And we're going to toss it into our veggies, our stir-fried veggies. Look at that. This is like making fried rice. So we're not adding any seasonings at all, right?
I already added seasoning to the stir fry.
Okay.
And the rice has already been salted. Plus the butter also gives it.
Yeah, it gives it flavor, yeah. So you don't want to overdo it.
Because we are still going to take it with the sauce.
Okay. So let's talk about cinnamon and cloves. Your food outfit, how long have you guys been in, you know?
It's been almost 2 years.
Okay.
Yes, and we do continental African food.
Okay.
And we do corporate events, weddings, engagements, all of that as well.
Nice.
And apart from that, we also do desserts. We have a partner, Urban Chefs. He was here on Monday.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, so we also do desserts. So basically, we cater for everything.
Nice. Yes. That's interesting. And what's your Instagram handle?
Cinnamon and cloves _ and if you want to check our desserts page, it's urbanchefs_ng.
Okay. All right. So is that enough rice or we need to add more?
No, that's fine.
Okay, great. If you're just joining us, people, this morning we are making chicken curry sauce and we're having it with veggies steamed rice. Look at that, people. Look at that. That looks really, really, really good. I can't wait to have a taste. And I know you're watching at home. Cannot wait to try this out. So please try this out and let us know, you know, what you think, how was yours. You could also send us a picture via all our social media platforms. Just send us a picture and say, oh yes, so on the day Chef Sandra cooked or made veggie steamed rice on the show, I watched, I paid attention, and this is my own, this is my result. This is the result of, you know, my own experiments. That's if you've never tried it before, you know. So yes, where we at right now?
Okay, so I just added a little bit of water into the
coconut milk.
Yes.
Okay.
So once it boils, I'm going to add the chicken and every other ingredient.
So for our chicken curry sauce, are we looking for thick consistency? Is it going to be
not
thick?
Too thick?
Okay.
Just medium consistency.
Oh, just medium consistency. Great.
So if you have chicken curry that is too runny, you can add a slurry. Slurry is corn flour and water.
Water, yeah, to thicken it up a little. Yeah, I know. And then, so for the coconut milk, must we use the canned one? Can we use coconut milk, like extracted from real coconut?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay. All right. Amazing stuff happening here in the kitchen. Food is almost ready. And, oh, we are tossing our chicken now. Okay. Yes. Great. Remember, our chicken has already been, you know, fried or seared. Yeah. Yeah. Chef Sandra says it's seared. Some of us call it fried. As long as it goes into the oil, it's fried. But here, it's being seared already. And we're adding in our red pepper, yeah?
Yes.
Great. Okay. Are we still making use of the bay leaves, though?
No.
No, okay, great.
So you can just reserve some bell peppers for garnish.
For garnish, oh, okay. Nice. But look at that, coming out really nice. Look at that burst of colors. So we're not putting in any seasonings whatsoever again?
Because I just added the chicken. So I want the flavor of the chicken
to go into the coconut milk.
So that you don't over-season your food. So after that, you taste, then now season.
Okay, great. So you're just going to leave that to boil?
Yes.
Okay. So when do you know when it's cooked? So when do you know it's ready?
We didn't cook the chicken all the way through. We just seared it.
Oh,
so we have to give the chicken
a
time,
little while.
just a little time to cook in the sauce.
Oh, okay, nice. And to get the best of your chicken, I'm just going to allow Sandra to take us through the process for our marinated chicken. Remember, you marinated it overnight, yeah. And so quickly, let's just go through it. The chicken?
Okay, so the chicken is soft chicken. It's not the regular chicken you get in the market. And it cooks faster, so you have to be careful with the way you cook it. So you marinate it with salt, chicken seasoning, black pepper, white pepper, curry, paprika, ginger and garlic. Yeah, and so you let it sit overnight. If you don't have that much time, maybe 30 minutes to an hour, then you put your oil in your pan with butter.
And just you sear, just put it in, toss it in and you sear. And our chicken curry is going to be ready in a bit. People, I am too much excitement. I'm relieving from too much excitement of so much has gone on the show. People, we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Welcome back. I think we've gotten to the point that many people have been waiting for, the relationship segment on this show. Now, Vanessa Willie is a certified relationship coach and associate practitioner of the Institute of Family Systems Engineering. She has 8 years experience in counseling, and she is also a Mandela Fellow and the founder of Janessa Foundation, of course, international. The topic of discussion this morning is simple: marriage and spirituality. Sometimes this causes problems, within couples, whether they're intending to get married or maybe they're married already. And what do you do when somebody is on this level spiritually and the other person is on this level? How do you create a balance?
What is most important to the person who is on this level spiritually? What are they craving for? The last time I was here, I talked about compatibility. Yeah. So it is important that you are with someone who you're compatible with spiritually. So you don't say, when you talk about spirituality, you're talking about someone who obviously believes in the celestial. So if you're talking to someone who doesn't understand anything about spirituality, it becomes very difficult for you to reach out, except the person is teachable and is willing to, shift grounds. Because to a large extent, spiritual people, their life is governed, their belief system governed the way they live life generally, or is supposed to reflect in the way they live life.
Well, why do you think, though, that there seems to be a lot of, especially in marriages, there seems to be a lot of frustration when it comes to spiritual things or religiosity and things like that? And it doesn't have to be Christianity or Islam. Any religion that you can find. So you find, let's say in a Muslim home, so the man is very spiritual, he's a committed Muslim. But the wife is a bit chill. She doesn't, want to be a part of all that because maybe her background was a bit more secular. So that causes frustration for the man. Why do you think that happens, and why can't there just be understanding?
Well, understanding is a big word when it comes to marriage, because a lot of people go into marriage with the perception or with the intention that they are going to change the other person. And that's where the frustration starts. Because if you go into marriage with an open mind, this is what I saw. You can't see everything. Marriage is almost like a parcel. When you open it, what you see is what you get. So if you go into marriage with an open mind and willing to accept, adaptability should be a word that everybody who is intending to get married should incorporate and learn. Adaptability quotient, it's very important. If you're able to adapt to your partner, you are more likely to influence them. But if you're going into marriage with the hope that I'm going to make her a more spiritual person, I'm going to make him a praying person, you find out that this person is a formed adult. They've passed their formidable years. You can't begin to change that person. They are not babies. You can only influence the person if the person sees a reason to want to even be influenced. So it is good to have a teachable partner, but don't go into marriage with the intention that you want to change that person. Now, that's where the frustration starts.
One of the things that I want to ask you is, so when you see, when you're in a situation like this, so it's a marriage, and there's a bit of divergence when it comes to spiritual things. So what should be the midpoint? What would you advise? So for instance, the man is the most spiritual person, or the woman is the most spiritual person. The man is not that spiritual. He doesn't go to church maybe once a month, and that's even when he's pushed. So where is the balance? So is the balance the spiritual person moves closer to the secular in the area of, okay, let me reduce my prayers, or is the balance the person who is more secular moves closer to the spiritual person?
Spirituality is not something that you say. It's a lifestyle. For a Christian, it should reflect in the things that you do. What that means is that you should have an open mind enough to be able to be accommodating. To what extent does your partner's own spirituality affect your marriage? Does it affect the way you raise your kids and other things? That is where you now begin to have some deep discussions. But I think that, I mean, like we were having a conversation off air, the fact that your husband doesn't wake up in the morning and you both kneel down and feel like a happy family and you pray, doesn't mean the person is not spiritual. Spirituality is a personal thing. How it affects your marriage is now something you want to discuss.
Yeah.
So how it affects how you raise your kids, that's what you should discuss. But trying to force someone to be spiritual could be perceived as being hypocritical because you put that person under pressure. And nobody wants to be in an atmosphere where they feel that aura of resentment, being judged, under pressure to perform at all times. So you need to be adaptable, like I said, and then also be able to make your spirituality fun. So I married you, a fashionable girl and all of that. Now you're spiritual. I mean, you look like, I don't know, I could pass you on the street and I don't recognize you. And the man is wondering, is this what spirituality is about? If this is it, I don't want any part of it. So do you understand? So you need to make this lifestyle that you want to influence your partner to be fun.
Yeah. So I want to go to the next question. So two people get married. And both of them, when they got married, they were, in quotes, in the world.
Yeah.
And so now that they're married, one person starts getting spiritual, starts getting deep, starts getting very committed. And the other person is now wondering about this change that is going on in my partner. This obviously will cause some friction in the marriage.
Big
so what should one or the other person do in this situation?
First, the person who has become spiritual needs to excuse the person who isn't and give them time. How long that time takes. And influence is something that is very powerful. People, just like your children, become what they see you become, not what you say. So they replicate who you are. You have the power to influence the person you're sharing the same bed with by your lifestyle. So when you're a nag, or, I mean, you're saying you're spiritual, but that doesn't, it only reflects on Sunday morning when you want to do something, some religiosity, as it were. You can't influence your partner. But if the person is seeing something good from this new lifestyle, it will take them time and it's their process. You need to be patient with the person because it took you time to get to where you are. And everyone needs to own their process. So you need to allow that person, adapt to that person while gradually influencing them by your lifestyle.
I like that. So now you spoke about children very briefly, but you know that when children are now involved in this equation, it's fireworks sometimes. So I had a story of a particular person who, at the time, they both had separate religions. One was Christian, one was Muslim. And of course they had kids. So it was sort of like a secular home. They weren't really paying attention to religious issues until the guy then started becoming very spiritual. And they wanted the kids to be involved with him. So he was still like, okay, wife, you can do what you like, but the kids are coming with me. And of course she then became a bit apprehensive about that because she now didn't know what her kids were being taught. What do you do with the kids?
It's
tough, I know.
It's a difficult situation. That's why these issues are better managed before you say I do. Because after you said I do, you can't easily say I don't do anymore. So as it affects your children, have a baseline. What are the values you're trying to communicate? I'm sure that, you know, in Christendom, Muslim, there's a baseline. You have to anchor on justice, equity, and fairness. on these 3 pillars, you can't go wrong. Every law in the world, even if you don't believe, you're not a spiritual person, is built, the laws that govern life are built on these 3 things. Equity, justice, and fairness. So what are your children learning? Are they anchored on these pillars? You also have influence on your children. Yes, they may decide, okay, I'm going to the mosque or anything, but your life, these children will get to a point where they are able to make decisions for themselves by weighing the options that are before them, and they choose. We oftentimes want to micromanage our children. We want them to become exactly what we want them to become, and we forget that children, just like you have become an adult, you had your own path. There's a destiny for you, and you need to just help that child. You're a caretaker. Help that child to go in the direction of their destiny, not where you want them to go.
Wow, Vanessa Willie, that's absolutely awesome. Thank you for taking us through this whole spiritual process this morning, and for your reward, your spiritual reward. We're going to be giving you physical food. We're taking you to the kitchen right now.
A workman deserves his labor.
Yes,
a reward for labor.
Please,
I like that. I've been perceiving it from
the moment you walked in. Those are the seed over here.
Say spiritual reward.
All right, thank you so much.
Very much.
Looks nice.
For that was quite impactful. Thank you. All right, welcome to the kitchen, Ms. Vanessa. This is Chef Sandra. And this morning she's made veggies steamed rice with chicken curry sauce.
Wow.
I hope there's enough chicken curry sauce to go around. Because,
I don't know, because I'm seeing just one piece of chicken.
Yeah.
This is yours.
Please have a seat.
And I'm not sharing.
Enjoy.
There's more.
Yes. There you go.
Am I going to be caught on camera eating this?
Of course.
Of course. That's the whole idea.
So I'm supposed to eat in a
sophisticated manner.
What if I'm not sophisticated?
Then you can use your hands. That's
Just
fine.
try.
It's all
Anyway,
about originality.
Chef Sandra, so tell us how you did this. How did it go?
I already did a run through before.
Okay.
But the main ingredients for your chicken curry is chicken, curry, coconut milk, and your veggies.
Ooh,
then for the
okay.
rice is easy to make as well. You just do a stir fry with your veggies, steam your rice, and mix it together.
Nice, 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 nice. Very nice.
Really simple process. You've gone through fast food.
She's already.
I must confess, this is not a food you eat on camera. I need to sit down
and eat
put my fingers into this. This is nice. I mean, it's lovely.
It's fine.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And of course, a big thank you to Homely NG for the kitchen accessories.
Yeah. And of course, as usual, we're going to be back here tomorrow, bright and early.
Yeah.
A big thank you to all our friends for joining us on the show this morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
And Chef Sandra as well. Well done.
Thank you. All right, with that, it's a wrap. We can't wait to be back tomorrow. In the meantime, have an awesome day. Bye-bye.